All right, folks, and we are live. Thank you for joining us today. I am Jen Bunk, founder of Jen Bunk Ventures and architect of the People Stack. And I am joined here today by Karen Huller, who is the founder of Epic Careering. Welcome, Karen.
Hi, thanks for having me. Sorry we're late. That's all. I'll call them technical issues on my part, and I apologize.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm still working on Be Live TV myself. This is only my third time using it, and the first couple of times there were definitely technical issues. So maybe
Let's just send out some signals to the Chrome gods that Chrome just stays up, and we can stay on to make sure we get across this awesome content.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited to have some fun with this and to also add some value and help people essentially, not screw up networking conversations. Yeah, it's really because sometimes stuff can go horribly wrong during networking conversations for a variety of reasons. We're all human. We all make mistakes from time to time. Promoting yourself and communicating your value can be something that, it's definitely a skill that's honed over time. So we're definitely going to get into that. But let me give you a chance, Karen, to just kind of introduce yourself and let us know what you do and how you help folks.
I help corporate professionals identify and then pursue and also land the next level of fulfillment in their career, whatever that looks like. It could be changing industries. It could be moving over in a company into a different role. It could be, revamping. It could be moving up. So anything that they need in order to move on to something that's more fulfilling or helps them grow in the ways that they want to grow professionally or income-wise, that's what I do. And I do it through branding and helping them with campaign support as well as mindset and habit support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so surprise, I do something very similar. And that's why, Karen and I are partnering together because we have very similar ways that we help folks, very similar missions for our businesses. Essentially, I help tech managers specifically to level up in their careers, whether it means, earning a higher salary or getting a promotion or landing that job they want, or really just kind of dialing in their leadership skills so that they can get their teams to really perform at their best and to thrive the best that they can. And when Karen and I were brainstorming about what some topics might be that we could really have some fun with and really share some awesome content with, we really landed on networking because that's one of the topics that our clients come to us a lot with needing help with, really being more purposeful as far as networking. So we thought what we would do, we could have some fun with, is to do some role playing. Where basically we'll take turns playing job seeker and friend of friend. So what we came up with is just to set the scene for all of these role plays. We'll do 4 of them is what we have planned. Essentially a bunch of the wrong way, a bunch of the ways where things can go horribly wrong. And then we'll end with, of course, the right way and explain why we think that's the right way. So to set the scene, essentially what we decided on is it's a friend's party. You're at a friend's party and you're basically, the goal is to share with somebody that you meet, a friend of a friend, hey, I'm looking for a job. Because still in this day and age with all the technology and stuff like that, that really is still a really very really great way to get a job, or at least to start making some connections. So we can jump right into the first scenario. Karen, is there anything else that you want to add as far as kind of prefacing this and the reasoning behind it all?
Well, statistically, the leads that you're going to get most commonly that wind up to be the right ones are going to not come from your immediate network. Statistically, they come from the connections of your connections. So, and it doesn't have to look like, so networking can look like going out to a networking event, a room full of people that you've never met before who don't know anything about you, or a room full of people that you meet every so often and then you have to meet new people. You definitely want to expand your network when you're transitioning, but you also need to think about the fact that these people also know other people. And that's the beauty of LinkedIn. That's why it was created, because it's not just the people in your immediate network that can help you. Everybody knows somebody else. And it's hard to determine from the get-go who else other people know. And I'm sure people in Philly, people in New England are going to be going to Super Bowl parties. People across the country are going to be going to Super Bowl parties in a couple of weeks, or a little over a week. So we want you to be prepared to leverage these opportunities. Anytime you leave your house is an opportunity to open up a conversation that could open doors. And knowing that there's going to be opportunities in the very near future, we want you to get get some practice and putting together some techniques that actually open doors of opportunity. Whereas if you've tried networking before, you might have found it uncomfortable and ineffective. You're vulnerable. You know, it's a little bit of a stretch of your comfort zone, and it's hard to know exactly what to say about yourself that makes an impression on the other person, so that they want to introduce you to other people, especially if they don't know you well, but maybe they know you know somebody in common. So we just wanted to give you some solutions and something that you can practice, a formula you can follow and practice in the very near future.
Yep. Yep. That's great. That's great. And so let's start with the how to do it wrong, or at least some of the foibles and some of the things that can happen when that aren't really that effective. And so for the first scenario that we have planned out, I am going to play the job seeker. So I'm going to be Jen, job seeker, and Karen is going to play the role of a friend of a friend. So yeah, let's just get started with the first role play then. 3, 2, 1, action. All right. So we're at a party. I walk up to you. Hey, Karen. Or I don't know your name. Never mind. Cut. Never mind. I walk up to you and I say, hey, I'm Jen.
Oh, I thought you were going to be the job seeker first.
I am the job seeker. I'm just starting off the conversation that way. Okay. Clearly, we planned ahead for this. No, we do. We have a general plan, but we didn't work out the details. But yeah, I'm walking up to you, and I'm the job seeker, and you're the friend of the friend. So,
how you doing? I'm Karen.
I'm doing. Nice to meet you, Karen. Yeah, how's the cheese dip looking? Looks interesting. Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, I have. It's pretty good, but you know, should stay away from the cheese a little bit. Maybe I'll go for the vegetables instead.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I might try for the vegetables. Yeah. So yeah, have a great party. So, and then I walk away. So the reason that we're doing that, right? So, and this has actually happened to me before. You walk into a party or you walk into a networking event fully with the intent of like having a conversation with someone and saying, yeah, I'm on the job market. I'm looking for a job. Can you help? You know, and then you just sort of either chicken out of it or, oh, it's not the right time. Like, I don't even know anything about you, but I just suddenly said, you know what? She's not the person I want to do it. You never know. You don't want to lose that chance for a connection. So let's just try that again. So that was like try number 0, just to sort of say, make sure you actually go in and have a real conversation with folks as opposed to not. So we'll go again. Hey, I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen. I'm Karen. How you doing?
Yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. It looks like they have a good assortment of stuff to choose from here. I think I might try some of the red wine.
Red wine. That'll do the trick, right?
Yeah, that'll definitely loosen us up a little bit, especially since we don't know each other. So how do you know Joe? He's an old high school friend of mine.
Oh, we used to work together.
You did. You used to work together. Oh, that's cool. So does that mean you're in tech as well?
I am. Yeah. Are you in tech?
Oh. Yeah, I am. I just recently moved here from the Philly area. So yeah, I just knew Boston's new to me, and yeah, so I'm in tech too. I'm actually looking for a job.
Are you? Okay. What do you do? What are you looking for?
Oh well, yeah. So I'm not really sure. Like I was an SEM. I was a software engineering manager at my last job. I did it for I think maybe, gosh, I lost count. Maybe it's 10 years. It doesn't feel like that long. Yeah, so maybe it was like 10 years or so. So yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do. But I know it's really competitive up here. So maybe a manager position, but maybe something less. I'm not sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I mean, is that what you do, or do you do something different?
I'm a PMO manager.
Okay. Got it. Did you mind if I ask what company you work for?
I work for CSL.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So I think I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like waste your time or anything, but like if you like, who do you think you would know if any like tech managing kinds of positions open up? Like, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there.
I mean, something isn't open now that I know of, but I could look into it for you.
Yeah. I'd really appreciate that. Like I said, like, I'm not even sure if I'm looking or not. Like, I mean, I am obviously, like, I need a job, but it's really hard to tell with the market and stuff. I know it's really hard to find jobs and stuff here too, and it's just, yeah. But anyway, like, yeah, if something opens up, maybe you could tell Joe, and like Joe can tell me or something like that.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let Joe know.
Cool.
Okay.
Enjoy the wine.
Okay, you too.
All right. What did I do wrong? All right. That was so. Did you feel the awkwardness there? I was like, oh, shit, what am I gonna say next? Like, I was actually nervous for Jen there. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was actually feeling a lot of pity. I was like, oh man, I know she really wants to ask me for help, but I'm so like, oh man, and probably in a normal situation, I'd be like, oh, you're new to the area, and but I feel like once you create and walk into that awkward space, it's really hard to just shake it off and get out of it, right?
I really is. Like, I was totally there. I was like, oh, okay, shake the magic 8 ball and get something better, Yeah, and I totally got it from your end. She was like, shoot, like, if that actually happened in real life, that's probably what somebody would say to you. Like, maybe I'm looking, okay, like, and so the idea there, and sort of when we were planning it out, just so everybody can kind of get tuned into, why we use that scenario, was essentially like overly modest, overly dabbling, kind of not really owning that space of, yeah, I'm looking for a job. I'd really appreciate your help. And that was like the opposite of that. That's essentially what I was going for. And look, I get it. It can be uncomfortable to own that space, but as uncomfortable as that is, like, do you want that to happen? And just be like, I don't know what to say to you. I know you need help. Yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
If you're maybe looking for a job, maybe I'll help. I mean, what else can I say?
Exactly. Maybe. I'm not really, I don't know you. Joe's cool and all, but I don't know you. And if if you're not really in it, I'm not going to recommend you to anybody, obviously.
I'm certainly not going to push my company on you. I mean, I can tell you kind of want to know, but I mean, if you kind of want a job, are you kind of going to, do that in the interview and then make me look bad? I want to do you a favor. I like to do people favors. I like to help people, but I also have some capital in my network, and especially at work, right? I have a reputation. I have to make sure that if I'm going to introduce you to somebody, that you're going to impress them. And what I'm not sure of in that interaction is, do you even know what you want to even know what positions you're going to go for, right? Or are you getting good at what you do, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I know we both know Joe, but another thing, just, she noticed that also that Jen asked me about me first. And asking questions is a great way to get things going. So asking other people what they do. And in that scenario, I was in tech. So when she said she was a software development manager.
Yeah.
So, if I'm in tech, I probably have a little bit of context to understand what that is and what that does. But if I'm not in tech, I don't really know, what problems you could possibly solve for the organization either.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. All right. How about we move on to the second scenario? Then we're going to switch, and we're going to do, so Karen's going to play the job seeker. I'm going to play the friend of the friend this time.
Hi.
All right. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm Karen.
Nice to meet you, Karen. I'm Jen.
Hey, Jen. You've lived around here long?
Yeah. I've been here a while. Yeah, actually.
Cool. So how do you know Joe?
So we used to work together. We work for the same company together, not anymore, but yeah, that's how I met him.
Okay. What company is that?
Over at Acme.
Okay. And what did you do there?
I was a tech lead, so I was pretty much doing software development, but I was kind of like the person in charge over there.
Okay, I was a person in charge too.
The person in charge. You're in tech as well.
Yeah, I'm in tech, and I pretty much am like the project savior of my company. I don't know what they'd do without me. I mean, things are constantly on fire over there, and I don't know what they're going to do when I leave because I am looking for a job. But I mean, my boss depends on me so much, and I'm the person that everybody goes to when they have a problem or a question. And I hate to leave them in a lurch, but I'm looking for greater responsibility and things that I'm looking for better pay, and I'm looking to work on sexier projects. Because I know that if I had more responsibility, if I had projects that were more visible and more critical to the business, that I'd really be helping the company produce a lot of revenue. So I'm looking for something new. Do you know anyone who wants like a rock star?
Like a rock star project? I don't know. Is that a job title? What's you said? Project Savior, rock star. Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm not. What kind of stuff specifically are you looking to do?
Well, I mean, if there's any software development projects or like a suite of projects, if there's a company who's always trying to launch new innovative products and they're trying to, maybe they're behind on their launches, I'd be the person to come in and make sure that everybody's on point, everybody's on track, the project gets completed on time, the product gets launched on time, bug free, everybody's happy, customers love us. So that's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. That's what everybody wants that, huh? That's cool though. That's cool. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that would that would be a fit right now. But yeah, if you want me to keep an eye out, sure.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, the company that I work for now, they just don't have enough resources to pay me really what I'm worth. So I'm looking to move on.
Okay. Yeah, I can appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, definitely, I'll keep an eye out for you. Yeah, I think I see one of my friends over there that wants to chat. So it's been great talking, Karen. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the party.
Well, find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, I love it. It's like you did everything except shove your business card in my face.
I was thinking of doing that too. I was like, I should just be like, here, take your card.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. So there it was. So that was like, okay, maybe I want to help this person. We're obviously, same industry. I kind of like the idea of, you're clearly, you're a rock star. There's some confidence there. But so what I saw there was like a combination of, would I want to work with this person who basically just calls themselves a project savior without really talking about specifics? And also, I think also one of the themes that keeps coming up is the lack of clarity around like, what is it you do next? Like, how can I help? Besides just saying, yeah, you know what, I'm awesome and I help people do all these awesome things everybody does.
With everybody else's mistakes. That's me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Right. And so, yeah, I mean, the idea there was it's a little bit maybe overconfident in lacking specificity as well. That's what I saw there from my perspective.
Empathetic. You're like, okay, yeah, I can see how that sometimes. Sure, yeah, I get that. You're trying to be so empathetic with me, but it's hard to be, right? It's hard to be empathetic to somebody who's like, I'm all about me.
Yeah, I mean, so I was dialing up the empathy there, but I was like, hey, if I wasn't like, if it was like, if you were just some random person and it didn't matter to me, I'd probably just walk away after that first Project Savior sentence. Oh, that's great. You want to be a Project Savior? That's awesome. I gotta go. I gotta go over there. Because it can be a real turnoff to kind of go to kind of do that. And then like with the end, like find me on LinkedIn. Like, oh my God, this person's crazy. Like what? Why would I do that? I don't know. Like clearly I was trying to divorce myself from this situation that wasn't working out really well. So pushy, I think that's what that would be qualified as, I believe.
A little pushy, a little aggressive, a little braggadocious, a little self-involved, probably not somebody who would give anybody else any credit. Not somebody
Right.
you want to, other people to work for necessarily. Right?
Right. Yeah. So I was thinking the same thing. Like, would I want to work with this person? And certainly, what would happen if I introduce you to somebody? You're probably just going to end up acting the same way, like to one of my friends. Again, to the social capital that we have some really valuable social capital. I don't want to destroy that by introducing them to someone who I don't know who's acting like this in some random encounter. So yeah. All right. So how about we move on to the next one?
Next up.
All right. So next up is on Job Seeker, and Karen is friend of friends. All right. I gotta change up a little bit here. It's a little bit different than the first one I did. All right. Cool. All right. Hey, I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen. How you doing? I'm Karen.
Hey, Karen. How you doing? How you liking the party so far?
Oh, yeah, I know. There's a lot of interesting people here. I'm having a good time so far. How about you?
Yeah. I've been meeting some really interesting people too. Lots of folks in tech. Are you in tech as well?
Actually, I'm in accounting.
You're in accounting? Okay. So do you work for a tech company, or is it just like accounting for some other company?
We honestly could use a little more tech in my company. No, we are, we're still working on a mainframe. So,
Got it.
Yeah.
I work in tech. I'm a tech director over at Acme. But it's like it's no secret. I'm on the out. Like I'm leaving. Like there's like if they didn't pick that up yet, like they know that I'm not going to work there anymore.
Do you think they're going to let you go?
You mean let me? Oh no. I'm leaving. Like they wouldn't fire me. No. But like there's just so much going wrong there. Like and I think they know it too. Like it's just it's a complete like people just running around with chickens with their heads cut off, and it's just yeah. I try to help, and I really try to do the best that I can. But it's not the right environment for me. It's really frustrating.
It sounds awful.
It is, yeah. Thank you for saying that. It's just to have somebody who understands that it's really hard, like walking into work every day and like just wondering what fires are gonna are gonna pop up and not really having the support for it. So yeah, that's why I've really felt like it's really time to move on. Yeah.
And what would be a better situation?
Yeah, good question. Gosh. So that I could actually go into work, I don't know, enjoy it, as opposed to like worrying about, instead of like worrying about whether or not, people are actually going to listen to what I'm going to tell them to do, or, to have a boss who really like cares about the projects. Like I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that love. Like that's what I want. I want that engagement. I want that satisfaction. And I'm just really not feeling that there right now. And it's just really great to have somebody to listen to this.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to listen. Happy to, offer you some sympathy in your situation. It sounds pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, like I said, I'm a director, I'm a tech director. And so like, if there's anything, like, obviously, like I said, it's no secret I'm leaving because it just totally sucks there. So like, if you see any of those kinds of jobs pop up or anything, I know, it may not be your thing, but like, I know Joe's in tech and like, that's how we know each other and stuff. So yeah, it's because I know, you probably want to have a great job too. And so if you want to help a girl out here, I'd appreciate it.
I mean, I'd really like to help. I'm wondering how I would identify that an opportunity doesn't suck for you. How would I know?
Yeah, that is a good question. I probably do have to do a better job of kind of figuring out what it is about the context that's not working. I know it's my boss. I'd like a better boss. I'd like a better team too. But it's just, yeah, I can't even go to work even one more day. I'm just thinking of just leaving and then just kind of going from there. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate the offer to help.
When you figure out, how I can identify a good opportunity for you, let Joe know, or we'll see if I come across it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening.
Oh yeah, sure. Anytime.
Cool.
But not next time.
Never maybe. Right. Yeah, that was actually a hard one for me to do. That was so I guess the goal there was you're somebody who's complaining a lot, right? Where it's like you're so focused on the negative of what's going on at work and not realizing that just by complaining to somebody else who's you're seeking help from, how is that helpful, right? Well, it's nice to like vent and stuff like that. Sometimes it can go over to the point of, okay, well, how am I supposed to help you? Like, so again, the lack of clarity is showing up there, but then just also like that's what I was going for anyway, like the overly negative, focusing too much on the negative stuff and not where I want to actually go.
And I don't know you, but I find that a lot of people do that with their friends and they do that with their family. And then they expect their friends and family to help them because they love them. But even if somebody loves you, it doesn't necessarily mean that they, and even if they want to help you, it still doesn't mean they're going to put their self on the line if they suspect maybe the problem is you or your perception, or, they don't, everybody knows there's multiple sides to a story. So if everything sucks, right? Everything sucks. You can't help but wonder, like, what is the common denominator?
Exactly. You've got fired from 3 jobs. It must be the jobs. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow, but like, yeah, it's tough.
I mean, if I'm inclined as a coach to ask certain questions, right? Like, oh, well, was there a job you liked in the past that, you'd like to repeat? Like I'd be compelled to ask more questions like that. But I don't think that, Susie at the party is necessarily going to dig that much deeper and take the time to, fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I want everybody to understand is that anxiety and depression are contagious. Your brain is not just a receiver, it's a transmitter. And so if you're in some kind of, depressed state about your situation, or you're anxious about your situation, that is scientifically known to spread like a virus, like an energy. There is an airport experiment that actually you can try next time you're in an airport or waiting for a train or something like that, that everybody's calmly waiting for a plane to arrive so they can board. One person starts looking at their watch and tapping their foot and starting to get a little anxious about the plane coming, the plane boarding. That spreads
Mm-hmm.
around. And
Yes.
when you give that off to people that you want to potentially help you, it can be counterproductive to what you really want to happen. And I know
Yes.
that, job searching, it does suck a lot. There are a lot of disappointing moments. Even when you have things going great, you can have 5 great opportunities, but if that one falls through, it can hit you. It can get you down a little bit. I know you had a guest talking about mindset, but if we're going to talk about the things to do, I also want to make sure that we get across that there's not just how you do it, but who you are when you do it that has to come across. So if you're going to a party, there are meditations you can do ahead of time. There are just things you can do to psych yourself up, to and just visualizations that you can have, and set an intention for the best possible outcome, and that's actually proven to produce better performance. So if you expect it to go well, then it will go much better.
Yes, all great stuff. A few things I want to underline there. So number one, mindset, mindset, mindset. Yeah, I think my followers probably maybe think, oh, it's broken record. Jen just keeps talking about mindset stuff. But it does make a difference. And that airport scenario is a really nice illustration of it, because we've seen it happen. Like, I've always wondered, like, you're sitting at the airport. Like, another example is you're sitting at the airport, everybody's just kind of chilling out, relaxing. And then like one person will get up to wait, like they'll walk up to the gate. And then it's like a horde of people just, I'm like, why? We have time, people. It's assigned seats. What do you? I mean, I get there's the deal with overhead space and all of that, but like it totally is contagious, and that like they're not going to be able to help you. And I love the point about the coach too, because that's the benefit of getting a coach, of hiring a coach, is that we're trained, we have that experience to sort of not go there, right? To not go into that anxiety, to sort of get you out of that, and to ask questions to help steer you more toward, okay, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Versus if people, even us, if we're at a party, we may not be wearing our coaching hat, right? We may just be like, okay, yeah, I get it, sucks. I feel sorry for you, but I'm going to go talk to Bob or whatever, because I'm not here to be a coach today. So those are really, really great points. And just the idea of setting the intention as well. I think so many people go on the job market, and I actually just heard somebody who I know who's kind of close to me mention this, who I know is on the job market. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to apply for this job. I don't think I'm going to get it though. then why are you applying for it? Right? I get the idea of like you practice, practicing your networking skills and practicing your interview skills, negotiation, networking, which I think I already said. But if you're not setting the intention to like, if you're not in it to win it, then guess what's going to happen? I don't think I'm going to get it. Then most likely you're not. I don't think these conversations are going to go well. It's going to be awkward. Then most likely it's not. And then the other person's going to pick up on that energy too. But if you go into it with, yes, I'm going to have some great conversations, and maybe some of them will result in the outcome that I want, which is essentially connections. Maybe some of them won't, but I'm going to show up for those conversations the best way that I possibly can. That's so huge, is having the intention to do that.
And
so thank you.
And if you do flub up, make a mistake, forgive yourself, allow it. Not that you should expect it, but, just be like, well, it's not the end of the world if I have an awkward conversation, yep. Right? Mm-hmm. And I would say you could probably even notice that by the third role play that we did, even you and I were more comfortable approaching the beginning of the conversation with each other. So, all about practice, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And that sets the stage for the last one, which is, this is more of the ideal. That hopefully it more goes like this, if that makes sense. All right, so this one, Karen, you're going to be playing the job seeker, and I'm friend of friend.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Karen.
I'm doing great. I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen. So do you know a lot of people here at the party?
A few, like I know Joe, and then there's a few people that I've seen, that I've met here and there, but definitely lots of folks I don't know either.
Yeah, I've met a couple people, but I really only know Joe, so. Need anybody good? Let me know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've been looking for the girl power here. So Jane over there, she's really fun to chat with about girl power and stuff like that. So I know there's lots of guys here. We got to stay together.
We do. We got to stick up for each other. What do you do?
I'm a tech manager.
Oh, are you? You're in tech too?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, great. Good. Yeah. So I actually I help the project management office make sure that if they have multiple initiatives going on at the same time, that all of their systems, all their methodologies and technology work like they're supposed to, and that the people are engaged in the projects, and that the customer expectations are met, so that we can make sure that we produce something that people love and want to use, and that obviously creates revenue, and it makes my boss really happy because he looks really good.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we could definitely use one of you. Yeah, so I know the project managers that I work with, they do a great job, but they're faced with a lot of obstacles. So somebody to sort of help with that aspect of it. We definitely need that when we are.
So many things that can go wrong in a project, but normally if I do my job right, people at the top, they don't even know that things are going wrong. I'm just kind of taking care of things below the surface, and then things happen on time. And so it sounds like you might have a need for somebody like me. Does your company have a PMO? Does it have somebody in the director role?
Not that I'm aware of. That's not something that I'm super, dialed into. But yeah, I mean, I know that there would probably be a need for it, at least where I work, or like definitely other places as well. Yeah, totally.
If you wind up talking to anybody who winds up coming across a lot of those challenges and launching multiple projects, and who can, make it, just fix everything and make everything smooth going so that everybody's happy, I would love to connect with you and give you my card. And I'd love to talk more about what you do and your company. And in the future, there'd be an opportunity to help you out.
Yeah, totally. And I was just thinking, like one of the PMs that I work with, Jack, he's the one who I know is like really, really great at what he does, but it can like require some extra help. So you know what I could do? He's not here. He's not like friend of Joe, but so he wouldn't be at this party. But if you want, like I can introduce you to Jack, because it's a little bit closer to like kind of your area, because Jack's a great guy, and I think he would be fine with like letting you pick his brain and talk and stuff like that. So if you want me to do that, like I could do that.
Yeah, I would love to talk with Jack. I'd love to talk with anybody who's experiencing the same kind of problems that I love to solve. I mean, they might not be in a position to hire me, but you know, that it's expanding my network, and I get to understand more about, you know, the problems that I solve, and it can only be helpful from there. And I'm sure there's something that I can offer to Jack that might make an immediate difference for him, which is really important.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So here's my business card, and can you just send me an email to remind me about that? And then I'm super happy to just, you know, introduce you guys over email.
Thank you. I'm so appreciative. Thanks. Is there anything
Awesome.
you out? What's going on for you? What kind of introductions would make a difference for you?
Oh my God, thank you so much for asking. I'm not really sure right now. I'm like happy where I am, but like, I think, you know what, we might be hiring a new software engineer soon. So, you know, if you know anybody in that space, we haven't put out the job ad yet. We're still putting that together. But yeah, once we start hiring, if there's anybody that you can think of, because obviously we're looking for some really great, you know, tech talent and stuff. And so, yeah. That'd be super helpful.
Amazing talent. I would love to be able to refer them to them.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome. Great. Oh, it's so great to have such a wonderful conversation instead of just talking about the cheese dip.
I know. Well, I mean, usually spend a couple minutes talking. It does tend to migrate into work. We just spend most of our lives there, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. So shoot me an email. We'll definitely connect.
I will. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Good party.
Cool. All right, cool. There we go. That's how it's done. And just in case anybody's wondering if those kinds of conversations have actually happened before, absolutely. Like I've had tons of conversations just like that, and like you hit the nail on the head in terms of so many things. In terms of like you didn't just say, you know, like I'm a PM or like a job title. It was like I help these kinds of people do this so that they can achieve these kinds of outcomes. So I'm pretty sure you have a little bit of a formula for sort of those kinds of statements. Oh, there we go.
Backwards. I don't know. So yeah, there are 4 components to this formula, which I call the door opening formula, because just like you saw that play out, these conversations do happen, and they happen kind of easily when you know what to get across to somebody, which, you know, obviously we did the braggadocious one, and that was all about me. What I'm trying to focus on here is what my audience is experiencing. So the first thing you want to do is to identify the audience. So, so I'll help, right? Project management offices. So then, again, if you're not in tech, you might not know what a PMO is. So
Right.
if you were talking to somebody who doesn't have that context, you want to say, I help offices who run multiple projects. So, you know, and I kind of probably said something a little bit like that to explain, even though you probably knew what I was talking about. But the first thing you want to do is identify the audience that you want introductions to, so that people start thinking beyond titles to like the people who might be in a position to hire you or introduce you to somebody who would hire you. So that's I help who do you help, or what do you help, right? What kind of companies? You can identify industry. I help healthcare companies, or I help healthcare tech directors, or whatever it happens to be. And then the second component, I'll put this a little closer because it's a little smaller.
Challenges, problems, and initiatives. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do they have going on right now that would identify that you're somebody that could come in, whether there's a position posted or not, who can help them with what's going on? Do they have problems? Sometimes it's not always a problem. Sometimes it's just like, we're good where we're at, but we want to get better, and we want, you know, to grow, and we're looking to launch new products, or we're looking to upgrade our systems, or whatever it happens to be, you know. So security, obviously, and then initiatives. So those are the 3 things you would say. I'm looking to help project management office directors who are experiencing a bottleneck in multiple projects, you know, for instance. And then, you know, the third thing, can you read that?
Yep. Approach, style, solution, and methodology.
So you want to get across a little bit of how, like, what's your magic? What can you do that not just anybody else can do? Or, you know, what do you do really well? Like, I'm really good at being able to identify what's really the source of the problem and get into that very quickly so that we can speed along and get on track. And that's the so that. The so that is next. So that you identify the outcomes, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when you do your job right? Give them a picture. The outcome is what most people leave out, but that's the most important part, because it's inspiring to other people. Like, okay, so now that we're able to get these products or these projects finished on time, we have extra bandwidth for extra projects, and that produces extra revenue for the company. And
Yes.
bosses they don't even have to worry about the problems because I'm taking care of them. So, for them, they have a lot of trust and faith, and everybody's happy, and the boss is happy, and I make him look good or her look good.
That's right. That's right. And I like the hard, the soft, and the optional. So you can, there's a lot of flexibility there in the so that statement. It could be so that we can help them double their revenue. That would be more like a hard thing. And so also so people feel more engaged at work and they have more fun. That's more of the touchy-feely stuff. And then you could always throw in an optional one too, like if you know who the person is. Like I love framing it for the audience first. Like, so if you know who the person is, you can add on sprinkle in another outcome in there that they're going to connect with. And I'm like, oh yeah, totally. Like I love people who do that. Let me help. Let me help you in your mission. That's kind of like what I was feeling when you were giving me that sort of I help statement, the mission statement, the value statement, where it's like, oh, cool. I'm not sure if I know anyone who might do that, who like directly, like if I don't, but like I'm totally plunged into this right now. I want to help you do it, even if it's just like a friend of a friend kind of thing. So that like even in that scenario where it was obviously just role playing, like my mind was spinning like, what else can I say? Because I want to help this person. So I think that's the flexibility of those outcomes. Not just the one. It's not like, oh, to make more money or like, oh, to be happier. It's like you do a bunch of them to really get the person dialed in. So I like that part of it.
Yeah, there's a trickle down impact. And when I tried to like embody an enthusiasm and a pride and when you're talking passionately, sometimes there's I don't try to coach people to manufacture like nonverbal communication, because again, we transmit certain vibes, and our nonverbal communication is 80% of what other people sense. So even if you're doing it, it could look mechanical instead of natural. So I usually don't spend a lot of time with my clients focusing on, like this. When you're a speaker, they tell you to do that.
like that, or what was it? I remember the Bill Clinton thing. When you go like this. I don't know if you could see it. Like with the thumb, because you can't just keep going like, "Hey guys, I'm awesome." So I saw him do this a lot, and I heard that he was coached because he would do this all the time.
I saw an episode.
And we are going to help the country succeed. And yeah, I don't pay a lot of attention to my nonverbal movements, and I don't do a lot of coaching around that either. Because again, if it's coming from a place of authenticity, like true wanting to help, true compassion, it's gonna come off better than like something that's staged or fake.
Yeah, so you can just get into like, when you're on your game, when you are feeling in the flow, when all the conditions are right and you're feeling like you're successful, that's the kind of state of mind and state of body that you want to be in. So remember when things were great and everything was going great and you knew you were a rock star. I saw an episode of The Office recently where Dwight had to give a speech because he got Salesman of the Year, which was a speech that Michael had been giving years before that. And Jim offered to help Dwight. So he was like, here, I know you're nervous. Dwight had like a fear, a death fear of speaking in public. So he's like, I took some notes based on, some of the most impressive speakers in history. And here it is. And he he gave him notes, but the speakers that he was telling Dwight to mimic were like Hitler and Mussolini and other dictators. And so, so Michael, he freezes. Michael gets up there, starts the speech for him, and then Michael actually starts to flail at it. So Dwight gets up there and he does exactly what Jim told him to do. He's like pounding on the table. We will overcome.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Resounding ovation. Oh man, that was good. I can't wait for that show to come back.
Yeah, I mean, so that's it. I mean, I think you can pick stuff up from people who you admire and how they're doing stuff. Like one of the things that I sometimes coach clients to do is watch your favorite TED Talk, but instead of watching it for content, read between the lines. How is the speaker coming off? How exactly did that person structure the speech? how are they, how much do you think they practiced or not? Try to get between the lines of it so that you can then mimic it in your own way. You don't have to use the exact nonverbal things. You don't have to use the same exact structure, but really try to pick it apart that way and then put it back together so that you can find a way and find your own voice. That's how you do it, right? Is you practice, but then also like learning from others who are doing it and are doing it as well. Just maybe not Hitler. or a dictator.
Also, I mean, that was like a 20-second formula, right? It might take about 20 seconds to 30 seconds to get across. It's not like a full elevator pitch. It's not like, like if you were to get up and have 60 seconds. I know there are some networking events that say, everybody get up and for 60 seconds, I'll start the clock. You have to talk about yourself. And then you can talk a little bit more about, the skills that you use, all the technologies that you use, or the environments that you're used to working in, the industries, more the nature of the projects, more of like, what you're looking for. Ideally, what I would look to find would be, but, so that's like a 30-second opportunity. Then there's also opportunities where it's like, you just want to say a little bit. You might just be like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh, I help corporate. So what I opened up with, I help corporate professionals identify, pursue, and then land the next level of fulfillment of the career. That's like a 10-second type of thing.
Yep.
But I think if you get your 30-second formula down, you can, pretty much cut that short. And if you say it in just a way, then people want to know more and they're asking you more questions. And then you have the opportunity to be like, actually, I'm looking for introductions right now to people who are, so that's an even stronger call to action, right? If you love an introduction to somebody who is experiencing X, Y, and Z initiative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And look, there's no secret here that, look, we're both entrepreneurs. We both run our own businesses, and every consultant coach out there needs to market. It's just, it's a, it's a reality of it. If we don't market, if we don't sell our stuff, and if we don't promote our stuff, we're not going to be successful. So one of the things that I always think about is, in order to have a successful business, we need to do these things, and we've learned how to do these things. And so a lot of where these practices come from, it's that we're not just pulling them out of thin air, that it's self-promotion. It's how a lot of coaches and consultants and other small business owners learn how to market themselves because their business depends on it. And so it's really great to see the parallels there of, this is how, I came up with, and I'm sure a little bit of how you came up with, your value statement, Karen, for like how you help folks and what you help them to achieve. So we can borrow from other worlds there, and other folks who have been successful in doing that, and apply it to being on the job market, applying it to leveling up in one's career. It's all very, very similar. It's marketing. There's no, let's not try to beat around the bush. That's absolutely what it is, but it can be done in a very non-icky, very, very authentic way, as long as you practice and like we say, and use some of the strategies that we talked about today.
I also want to make sure that people understand that, it's not about asking for favors necessarily. I mean, actually, the way I ended up talking with you was like, I'd love to help you, right?
That's right.
Help me with my introduction. This is like, I could come in and I could really be a contribution and valuable. So, let this make sense for everybody. That's pretty much what I get across. It's what I want to embody. Like, I have solutions that somebody needs. And I want to make sure that people who need me are aware of me. So I'm going to take accountability and make sure that I can get across that in a way that is authentic, and also hope that my passion comes through too, because passion is also contagious. I mean, inspiration is magnetizing. It's not even just contagious, it's magnetizing. If I feel like I'm really offering something, then naturally, the conversations are going to lead towards being a magnet for opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a wonderful, wonderful point. So we're just about up on time, but I do want to give you a chance, Karen, just in case folks want to learn a little bit more about you, and or want to learn a little bit more about how you can help. What you got for us? I see you have is that a URL?
This is a URL, and I'll read it out loud. But I'm actually starting a 6-week live group coaching program on February 7th. And the first course, it's 6 weeks, 6 courses, 1 course per week. The first course is free.
Okay.
And thank you for that. So,
That's DJBS. I want to make sure I got it right. DJBS free. I think that's right. Yeah.
so that stands for Dream Job Breakthrough System.
Got it.
And the first course is really all about the fundamentals, everything you have to have in place in the front end so that in the back end of your job search, it's easy, it's fast, things happen very quickly. You know, this system is all about making sure that you spend less time getting better results, because the cycle of frustration turns into applying for jobs, putting the power in other people's hands, sitting back and waiting, getting frustrated that people aren't getting back to you on time or at all, and then feeling a little more helpless every day, a little bit more hopeless every day that there's really something out there that's going to happen. And so this system really helps you make things happen. And you might stretch your comfort zone a little bit, but it's not going to be like, I'm going to throw you in, I get that this kind of networking is very challenging. So it's like baby steps, right? Like, let's just gradually get you up a step. And even in 6 weeks, you can achieve amazing results and be able to open up these doors of conversations. When you have the right momentum, you're spending less time on the computer and more time in front of people who can actually open doors for you. And that's when you feel like, I made this happen any day. Something's going to break. I'm going to get an offer. And then you have the problem actually of like, now I have multiple things that could happen any day. I better figure out how I'm going to choose what is the best for me. And that's what we want all of our clients to get. That's the point we want them to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you brought up the boundary stretching stuff. Libby's a little bit uncomfortable. I always say, if you know it's the right thing to do, it absolutely feels like the right thing to do, and you know it's what is going to help you get that outcome, and it feels a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit scary, that's how you know it's the right thing to do. Because if we're not growing, like I am a big believer, if we're not moving forward and we're not growing, we're actually moving backwards, because there's no standing still in life. It's either moving forward or moving backwards. So I love this idea of, okay, let's stretch our comfort zones a little bit, whether it's in networking or other things related to like skills that we need to build to level up in our careers. So
if you want to have different results, you obviously have to do something a little bit different. I know our brains aren't really wired to change very well. So, the system comes with things that can make you more self-aware of the ways of thinking that can sabotage you, because your brain is not set up for change. So you have to override that. So we'll give you some techniques and tools to help you do that too, so that you can get to the point where you're more comfortable doing what you weren't comfortable before even faster.
That's great. Sounds like great stuff, Karen. So we'll definitely share the link when we share it at other places as well. Like I'll put the link in the Facebook comments as well, so people can know where to click and how to find you and find out more about that. So we are just about up on time. It's been really, really great and really fun doing some role playing with you and really geeking out about the whole networking conversation game.
Thank you. I really can relate, especially with those awkward moments in the beginning. I mean, even though it's like pretend, it's still something to get over. So we got through it.
Yeah, I know. And it is funny how it's like, it's obviously this is fake, but like, gosh, this is awkward. Can we get this over with, please? Like when we were doing some of the ones in the beginning where it was like, versus the last conversation, it was like, oh, cool. I want to keep talking to this chick. She's cool. So that's exactly what you're going for, where it's like, you don't want it to be, you want to keep talking, and you want to, like by asking, how can I help you? Like turning the tables. Like that's a great way to sort of stay in the conversation and find out how you can really help each other, as opposed to it just being one-sided.
Thank you so much. This is fun. I'll do this again.
Awesome. All right, cool. So we'll definitely be sharing this video around for folks who couldn't make it live. And again, once again, Karen, wonderful spending a Friday afternoon with you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.